Hello everybody, welcome back. We actually had to do it now here in the car because we only had the library room reserved for an hour. So our time was running out and we didn't want to get kicked out or anything like that. So we decided just to continue the last little bit in here. So we talked about everything leading up to our first jobs and stuff like that, and challenges that come with the job itself, whether it's management or not getting paid enough or stuff like that. So some other things that have happened in our lives, whether it's some people it happens in high school, some it happens after high school, is getting your driver's license. I feel like that could be life-changing because that adds more to like having a little bit more freedom as far as like going to different places without having to depend on your parents. So there's that. So as far as you're getting a driver's license, how old were you when you got your driver's license?
18, I believe.
Did you pass the first time?
I believe I did. Passed the permit test and then just got automatically driver's license.
Yeah,
So.
I wish I would have passed the first time. I actually did not.
Really?
Yeah, I got my license at 17, but I did not pass it the first time because it's an embarrassing moment kind of story, but I'm going to share it anyways. The first time I did not pass it because I was driving in neutral. So I didn't even get out of the parking lot. She told me to turn around. And we turned back around and she said that I did not pass and try again. So I passed the second time a week later. But so yeah, as far as driver's license, that's when I got mine at 17. But I still didn't have much experience as far as driving until I was maybe like 18, 19 years old. I had to learn kind of by myself how to get on the interstate and stuff like that. So that was a pretty challenging, like trying to get on the interstate. All I used to do was just drive to my job at the time, which was Food Giant, to my house. So it was either that or we would I would like drive a few places nearby to where I didn't have to get on the interstate. Like for people that do know like the town Adiana, like I've driven there, or Trustful, which is where we're at right now. So there's that. But I consider that a life change just because of like kind of what I already mentioned about having a little bit more freedom to do different things. And it kind of goes into our topic even about traveling too. So because we've been able to travel to different places, I've been able to do some road trips with my family. I've done road trips with Devin as well. So I've been able to, you know, have a little bit more freedom as far as traveling in that sense. Not that my family vacations are bad, but like there are some places that like my family may not want to go to, but like I want to go to. So getting to have that experience is fun. So I guess kind of talking about traveling now, what are some of your favorite places that we have gone to, or that you have probably gone to even if I wasn't there?
New York City. That was the best one so far. Second one probably would be when we did that three different states. We went to Utah, we went to Vegas, and we went to what was the other one?
Arizona.
Okay. Yeah, we did all three of those. Like we went to the Grand Canyon, we saw Vegas, and we saw different things in Vegas. We saw the 7 Magic Mountains, which was pretty cool. And then we saw the many initiaries, I guess what you call it, of Vegas. It was nice. It was so loud, and we got to experience Vegas, how crowded, very crowded down there. And then just going to the Grand Canyon, which wasn't planned to go there. We were supposed to go somewhere else, but it was nice actually going to the Grand Canyon because we got to see this spontaneous view in Utah. And the drive down there and going back was absolutely amazing because we got to see like pretty rocks during the day, and then like it felt like that we were in Mars. It didn't even feel like that we were on this planet, as crazy as that sounds. And then the drive back, like it was dark and the stars were out and it was absolutely beautiful. And And I would definitely, if I can drive back to that again, I definitely would. It, as a lot of people probably will say, that Utah, there's not really much to do, but if you're much of a hiker or anything like that, I would definitely go. Because we went to the, what was the trailer called again?
Oh yeah, I know it was at Zion. But,
Yeah, I think it was the.
Or maybe an observation.
It was something kind of trail. It was it started with a C, I think. I can't remember of it.
Yeah.
I guess whenever it pops up, that we'll look at it. But yeah, it was really beautiful. We saw this amazing view. I can't believe that was already 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So time really does fly. But yeah, that's one of them. We went to LA, and that was nice too. It was nice to experience LA. I definitely wouldn't say that as best as New York, because in New York there's more to do, and LA it's nice, but you know, I just feel like that New York was a lot more to do, and it was more fun, and it was more adventurous than it was in LA. But we did have some nice food in LA. It was good. We've been to Florida, which was great. We've been to Georgia many times. We went to West Virginia with a church group. You know what was the best part, going down there, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's some entertaining people on the trips.
And then man, that was one of them. One of them was one of our used to friends, or an associate, or whatever you want to call them. I guess just something about her. Her laugh was just amazing. It made everybody laugh. I guess everybody was tired or something like that. It was fun. It was just something about the trip just made it great. I don't know. And then again, one of our other high school friends, we all rode, or most of us did. We got on this weird looking ride. I forgot what it was called, but it took you all the way up, and then when you got up, very slowly, you drop right down. Some people did it, but not a lot of people did. But it was fun because some of the screams that we actually got to hear, some of the screams that we got to hear down there were hilarious. And you know, it was just something about, like, the screams are better than the actual ride, or it's just something about it. That was actually fun about going to West Virginia. We got to go skiing and then all that. We've been to many other trips, and then we got more coming up this coming year. We'll probably keep that a secret, since we don't want anybody to know that. But yeah, what's other places that we've been?
Nashville.
Yeah, we've definitely been to Nashville a good bit amount of times too. Went to Jersey. Let's see where else. There's a lot. But yeah, we got more coming in the future, so I guess you guys can stay tuned about that. And definitely always looking forward to all these trips and going and getting out of the state for a little bit, just to refresh and recuperate and nourish our minds and soul, and get to experience more of the world, even if it's here in the United States. It's nice to travel. We just love to travel, and you know, we get to do it with every chance that we get. So yeah, definitely top-notch New York. Second would be probably LA, and then Vegas, definitely Vegas, or Vegas and LA. They're kind of like in the mix in between two. And then of course our other ones that we usually go to sometimes here and there. But yeah, New York, LA, Vegas, and all that is definitely top-notch.
Yeah, most definitely. I can say as well, I think New York was probably my favorite one as well, even though unfortunately part of the trip I was sick, so like I had no voice during some of the trip, but I ended up having a good time just getting to see all the different like buildings, attractions, views, and all of that, and even just getting to do things that I wouldn't get to do here in Alabama. So like that was cool, like experiencing different things for the first time. And I will have to say that their pizza is the best pizza I've had, as far as like outside of you know, people like to talk about Chicago pizza and like New York pizza. I would definitely say New York is probably the best kind there, in that category as far as food goes. But yeah, a lot of great things that they had in New York. And then I would say, yeah, definitely the Vegas trip was really fun. We went during the time of like COVID, to where not many things were open, but like some of those things we probably wouldn't have done anyways. Like there was clubs and like things like that weren't open. So I was, fine with, since I'm not really the club type of person, I'm fine with not going.
Yeah, as crazy as it sounds, when you get older, you don't really enjoy it as much. Some do. I mean, I'm not gonna stop you from doing all that, but some people just like to chill and keep it low and all that. You don't want to go clubbing and all that, and you just want to just enjoy the, being in the state. But there's more to life than just clubbing and all that. So, and then again, when you brought up New York, about the pizza, they do have some of the best pizza, as crazy as that sounds. And actually the best one was probably the 99-cent one. So they say Joe's pizza is probably the best, but I had the 99-cent pizza that we went to down there in Manhattan, New York. It was amazing. Crazy it was for a big slice for 99 cents. It was unbelievable, and it was delicious. So we had to get 2.
Yeah, it was really good. I did enjoy that. And once we got there, the lines got really long, so we went there perfect timing. So yeah, that was really good. And then Devin already mentioned it, but yeah, I still will say that's probably my favorite drive that we ever did, going from Vegas to Utah to Zion National Park. That was like the most amazing thing that I've ever seen, driving through the Red Mountains, because we don't have red mountains here. We have just either a lot of grass or we have dirt. But besides that, besides dirt and mud and grass, like, it's not like these big mountains like they have out there in the Southwest. So I could still say that is like the best thing that I've ever seen, best scenery that I've ever seen as far as a road trip kind of thing. So that was amazing. Of course, the Grand Canyon was my first experience there, and that was amazing too, seeing that.
And the crazy thing is too, I didn't even think that we would get to go because we went right during COVID.
Yeah, that was our first trip that we took, like as far as getting on a plane.
Right, and everything was pretty much closed, and I thought that we couldn't get on the plane or anything like that either because COVID.
Yeah, so we ended up going at the end of 2020, so thankfully there were a few things that were open. It was very limited, like as far as we still had to wear a face mask and all that, but it was worth it because we were able to, like once we got into our hotel rooms and once we got into our rental car or whatever, we were able to take the mask off. But we had to wear a mask most of the trip, probably 90% of the trip, but it was still a really fun time just having that experience. And then of course LA was a fun experience too. Like he was saying, it was good, but like if I never went back again, I would be okay with that.
Right, like you don't have to get overhyped about LA.
Yeah, it was very, like, it was nice. Like the weather was very nice, I could say that.
One time's enough.
Yeah, one time's enough though. Like the food was cool, nice, the scenery's nice, but yeah, I'm good.
I would only go one more time, just to see Nintendo Land. When it opens up in the spring. Because the only closest one is in Japan, and I don't know when I'm going there.
Yeah, that's expensive, definitely.
So, and then they're still a little strict over there with COVID, and I think they're still requiring masks and all that down there, and you have to go through this process of quarantine for like a couple weeks or something like that. Because it used to be 2 weeks, and then they dropped to 10 days, then it dropped to 5 days, then it dropped to a couple days, and now they're not doing anything anymore.
Yeah.
So, but Japan is a little bit different because I guess they're a little bit more strict with their quarantine and COVID and all that. So they just want to make sure that everybody stays safe down there, I guess. But yeah, definitely I would go down there again for the Nintendo Land when it opens up.
Yeah, that would be nice. I do like me some Nintendo, and I even like the idea of riding certain rides, not all rides, because I'm not the biggest fan of really fast rides, but I think that would be fun for sure.
Right, and then I guess just all of that, and then the Mario movie, which I'm so stoked about coming out in the spring. Maybe that all collide together with that opening up, the Mario movie opening up, and then other things. So, and I guess sorry if this is off topic, guys. Thing about me is I love video games, and my favorite video game of all time is Mario, and I grew up playing Mario since I was 2 years old, and I still play it today. Like anything between like Mario Party Superstars, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, Mario Kart, anything, even just bringing back the old games and all that. I just enjoy playing it, and it's all just a good time, and I just enjoy it. It gives me relaxation and all that.
Yeah, so fulfilling your childhood dreams, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's always nice, getting to have those experiences that can, fulfill your childhood, memories that you have. So that's always nice. And then, he already kind of mentioned some of the other trips that we went on, whether it's Atlanta, Nashville. I mean, we went on 2 different ski trips to both North Carolina and West Virginia, so that was nice. Went to Florida, and, that was, of course, nice. I love the beach. So yeah, a lot of great things. And I mean, there were plenty of other trips that I went on that, that we may not have gone on together that were fun. But for this topic, since I have him on here, I think I've talked about this in previous episodes. I think I had an episode on, well, I don't think, I know I had an episode on vacation. So I did talk about that in episode 45. So be sure to check that out. So a couple more things that I want to talk about. One big thing is like baptism. I know for some people, not everybody is Christian, but for both of us, we both claim to be Christ followers, Christian. So I thought we would just talk about being getting baptized in front of our church, because we go to a big church. And also he has a different experience because he got baptized more than once. So I guess I'm just gonna have him kind of talk about just a little bit about his baptism experience.
Okay. Well, I guess growing up, I guess I grew up Catholic. I wouldn't really fully understand like Christianity because I wasn't a fully Christian or anything like that. And I guess, like I said before, well, I haven't said it before, but I mean, I guess it was different because I didn't know him. Like, I didn't know like God or anything like that. I mean, I just went to church just to go to church, and I was young. I didn't fully experience like church or God at a young age like most people do. I didn't grow up in the church or anything like that. But that was back home. And then when I moved down to the South, all of that changed. I guess I met mutual friends that go to church, and I started going to church with them, of course with him, and we all went together to First Baptist Centerpoint, and that's where I met a lot of people and kind of somewhat still kind of communicate with them through social media or just seeing them around sometimes. And then, like I said, when I was going down there, I didn't I was getting there, but I wasn't fully there. I guess when you're younger, you kind of just want to go to church just to mingle and be with people and just socialize and the thing. Like, you don't, I guess that's kind of like how that church was too, and like didn't really fully experience like worship or much of it. I experienced a little here and there, but not like as much like as the church that we're going to now. And plus we were younger too, so but I did get baptized down there in First Baptist Centerpoint. I guess I felt like it was the right thing to do to get baptized, and I'm gonna be real honest, and I didn't know what I was doing when I got baptized. I just wanted to get baptized so I would be saved, and like nothing would happen. I wouldn't go to hell or anything like that. Then I realized that there were a lot of dislikes in the church too. As crazy as that sounds, I guess like when I would try to worship or anything like that, people would start judging and laughing and all that, and that's not even what the church is about. You come to know him and be with him, and like if you're going through something, like look up to him, because know that he's always the answer to everything. Like people would always judge you, and they would laugh at you, and they would like say like, why are you doing stuff like that? But then I realized that like, why are we even attending this church when all the people here are just so judgy? I guess that's what you could say. And then I guess that's when we realized that when we decided to switch churches and go to the church that we're still attending today, at Gardendale First Baptist, I fully got to experience like Jesus and love the Lord more than ever, and went to Bible school and Sunday school together. We all did. And then I guess as I processed going to Gardendale First Baptist, that's when I realized that that I did get saved down there, and I dedicated my life to God, and that's when I fully got baptized on August the 12th of 2012. And I loved every minute of it. I know there are days where you fumble and stumble, and you're not perfect, but day by day, that when you walk with Jesus, that you know what to do is the right thing to do. So yeah, it's just a journey being with Jesus every day, knowing that He's always with you, no matter what the situation may be and stuff like that. So yeah, going to Garden Hill First Baptist, I don't regret any decision that I've ever made going down there. I'm not saying that First Baptist Centerpoint wasn't a bad church, but it helped me realize that realization that they're it's kind of like a step up to I guess you kind of know where I'm saying from there. But yeah, it was nice going there. You get to experience just a little here and there. It's kind of like a trial and stuff like that. But so yeah, Gardendale First Baptist. I love it. I love that church. I love going when I can. I try to go to most days when I'm available. So yeah, it's just a great church, and the people are so friendly and loving, and they love you regardless, and they always welcome you in. They don't judge you when you worship, because everybody knows they're going through something, and you got to pray for people every day, and you always got to be kind to people, because you don't know what anybody's going through. Because everybody's going through something. I know there's not one person I know that's not going through something, because everybody's going through something. I mean, I guess it's just life. So yeah, like I said, First Baptist Centerpoint was a nice church to go to when we did. I loved going to that church too, but made me come to realization that I knew God more when I attended Gardendale First Baptist, and being a dedicated follower to Jesus, and ever since, and I love it. And like I said, it's a decision that you definitely will never regret, is loving Jesus and accepting Him and following Him with all your heart.
Yes, amen to that. I thank you for sharing that, because that's definitely a different experience from what most people go through. Most people get baptized one time, but there are some people that do go through baptisms more than once, because maybe at the time, like you were talking about, you didn't really understand what you were doing the first time. And I know some people do that. They'll get baptized when they're a kid, maybe don't even realize why they're doing it. They're just probably doing it because their friends doing it. Or they maybe, some kids maybe getting baptized, like you were talking about, as far as like Catholic, being, being kind of somewhat considered Catholic. I know when it comes to Catholics, they like baptize their babies, I would sprinkle water on them. So some, babies are already baptized, and some they may not even realize it. But so there's that. But I guess for like as far as my experience, or I guess kind of in a way, before I talk about my experience, I guess back to your experience. Like as far as moving down here from New York to Alabama, there was definitely that big change as far as like religion goes, because here in the South it's like the Bible Belt, they consider it. So like there's that idea of there's a church in every corner basically. There's churches all over here, all over the place. And so yeah, there's that comes into play. So I guess when it comes to Centerpoint First Baptist, I could definitely relate to his experience as far as that goes. Even though I wasn't really one that was really standing up and like worshiping, but a lot of it had to do with, because I've seen how people would almost make fun of him for worshiping. So it like almost made me not want to do it. So I kind of stepped back instead and just kind of worship from the heart, which is great. But like the opportunity to want to worship outwardly, externally, I felt like was kind of, I kind of stopped myself from doing that, just because I was worried about other people making fun of me then at that point. So not that, I mean, there was definitely good people at a Centerpoint First Baptist we were able to meet, and like he said, been able to keep up with on social media. But so, and I guess it just goes to show that there's a reason for, the season of life that we're in. Like, Center Point, I've only went there for maybe a year or two, and then ended up moving over to the current church, Garden Hill First Baptist. But even with going to Center Point First Baptist, we were at least introduced to the idea of Christianity and church and worship. So I guess there's good when it comes to that. But like he was saying, when it came to Gardendale, I felt like I focused less on like religion and focused more on the relationship with Jesus. So, and I think that's something big that Gardendale always, I feel like they focus a lot more on. They always talk about Jesus. They talk about the Bible and really understanding the Bible and all that. So, I think just having more opportunities at Gardendale to understand the Word and having Sunday school classes and stuff like that is always, it was great. I mean, still great because I still go there. But, I ended up getting baptized as well in 2012, but it was not until October 7th. So it's been 10 years ago for both of us when we both got baptized. And like he said, we all still stumble. We still are sinners. Just because you get baptized doesn't mean you become perfect. A lot of people misunderstand that and think that once you get baptized, then like, yes, your life does change for the better as far as, you accepted Jesus into your heart, and that comes with salvation as far as going to heaven and eternal life. But we still can stumble and fall, and and all we got to do is just continue to pick ourselves back up. So, and like he said, there's definitely no regret when it comes to committing your life to Jesus. So that's kind of why this was like one of the later topics I wanted to talk about, because not many people think about baptism as a life-changing moment, but I would say it is, because like the whole meaning of life is is Jesus himself, Jesus going on the cross for us, and us, accepting him and living for him, and putting our past in the past and like going forward with a changed heart and being more mature with actions that you take, whether it's things that you say or do.
Yes.
So I think that's just big. And I definitely love the idea of just having a church that wants to build on your life of faith, and also like he was saying, being able to worship. If you want to put your hands up, put your hands up. If you want to just stand there and worship,
Worship freely.
yeah, there's no limits as far as how to pray or worship. I mean, unless you're about to like rip your clothes off, like I think that might be a little crazy, but
all are welcome.
Yeah, but I think as far as how you worship, there's no limit basically. As long as your worship is going to God instead of like putting the attention on yourself, I think that's just the biggest thing. So yeah,
exactly.
So yeah, baptism is definitely big for sure. And I'm glad to hear that both of us gone through that. And if people haven't been through baptism and you're a Christian, and if you really want to change your life for the better, I think baptism is a really good thing. I recommend it. But I know everybody has a different timing for when baptism happens, and God convicts people's hearts and touches people's lives at different points. It doesn't have to happen at a certain age.
And it's not a race.
Yeah, exactly. So as long as you do it, as long as you commit your heart to Christ, while you're here on earth, whether that's, early in age when you are aware of everything, or if you're older, like there's nothing wrong with that at all.
And do it if you truly mean it.
Yeah, definitely. Don't do it just because you feel like other people are doing it. Do it because you really want to do it and you want to change your life for the better.
Exactly.
So, moving on to our very last topic, as far as future life changes that we hope to see happen, what are some big things that you hope to see in the future for you?
Had to be quiet there for a minute.
Something to wonder.
Well, I guess here's another thing that I guess I'm putting myself out there for, that a year ago I did fall into a relationship, and I am very happy with my girlfriend, and I do expect marriage in the near future. Maybe a kid, but not in a rush for that right now. I still want to live life and enjoy traveling, and you know, I guess live my life still at a young age, and but stuff like that. Other things, wherever God leads me to, I'm just gonna go with the ride and let Him lead the way. I do expect more traveling in the future, maybe outside the country. I would love to go out the country. One of my main places I want to go to is Europe. Anywhere like France, Italy, anywhere in Europe. I would take anything. That's just a goal. I mean, one goal I definitely accomplished this year was going to New York, and we made that happen. And another one I want to accomplish is going outside the country, even if it's going to Europe. And that's definitely just one place out the country I want to go to. I would be happy. Another thing, I guess this is kind of a little bit off topic. A couple years ago, was it like 3 years ago? 4 years ago? Either or. I actually got to meet my superhero, the voice of Mario. It was amazing, because I never thought in my life that I would actually get to meet him, and it was so cool. And I was just like, I was kind of like jumping and being excited, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm this close to him, and I got to experience being around him. I'm just like, he is so kind. His name is Charles Martinet. He's so passionate. He's loving. He's caring. He's great. He's a great person. Anyways, that's kind of like off topic, but stuff in the near future. Just maybe marriage. Expecting my growth a little bit to be more advanced in Jesus. Maybe getting more into the Bible. Maybe getting into. There's a lot of stuff that I need to catch up on, and I guess I'm letting life kind of slip that away. Just to be more alert with stuff. Be more kind. Maybe get back into working out again. I did used to work out, and then I kind of stopped. Like I said, there are things where you get motivated, then you get less motivated. I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff just to do, and I'm just gonna let God do the work, and I'm just gonna go from there.
Amen. I think that's a really good final kind of thought as far as what you want to do in the future, and I think those are really good things to put into, what you want to do as far as your future. Because same here, I mean, I'm single, but like eventually I would love to get married and have a wife and have children, whenever it's God's timing. That would be amazing, getting to have that experience of being a husband and a dad. Like, that would be great. And then, like he was talking about, getting to travel some more. I definitely want to visit all 50 states. I'm 14 states away, so like I'm getting there, and so that's definitely exciting. So definitely getting to travel more. Like he already mentioned as well, getting more into the Bible and like growing on my relationship with God, because there's always room for improvement.
Exactly.
And in every area of our lives, especially that area.
Amen.
So that's like a really big things for me as far as that. And then also eventually, I mean, once I get married, there comes the idea of moving out of my parents' house. So there's that too. But right now I'm, here at home, staying at home, and nothing wrong with that, because I don't want to go to a house with nobody in there.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. I feel like that a lot of people like to rush to get out of their parents' house, and honestly, nowadays there's nothing wrong with it, because the income and all that is really high nowadays, and there's nothing. I'm gonna just say it right now. There's absolutely nothing wrong with living with your parents, especially the people who they gave you life, and you get to see them every day, and it's so cool. That it's like, hi, hey mom, hey dad, and you get to check up on them, and if something happens, God forbid, if anything, you're there and taking care of them, whether it's something minor or something major. And it's just a refreshing feeling to see your parents still. I mean, I guess it just depends on your relationship with them. So if you have a great relationship, yes, but I guess if not, then, that's, your story.
Yeah, most definitely. So yeah, I definitely don't see nothing wrong with living with your parents. Like he mentioned, things are so high nowadays. Like, it's crazy high. So, like, not even having that stressful thing, and also getting to see your parents that, that you won't get to see as much if you move out, and, if you have your own family, which, I definitely still hope to have one day, but, that takes away from being with your parents. You don't live with them anymore unless you're trying to pull a full house kind of thing. But besides that, just for most people, they, when you get married, you move out, and you move probably to a different city, close by city, not too far, but things change, once you get married, because then you're the head of the household. You're in charge. Not in charge. Let me not say in charge, but like, you're kind of like, when I say the head of the household, I do kind of mean
You're in charge.
You're in charge basically. But I don't want people to think that it means that, like, we're like the boss and like the wife is like under us. I mean, yes, it does say in the Bible, for kind of the man to be the head of the household. But I don't want it to sound like that women are basically like workers for men, like when it comes to marriage. Because, man, there's things that husbands should do to fulfill their wife, and, other way around, of course. So definitely don't want that getting misconstrued. But yeah, that's just something to look forward to and to be prepared for. So for the time being, I am at home, and nothing wrong with that. So, anyways, I think that's actually going to close out our topic on life changes. I want to thank Devin for being here again. It's good to have you on here finally.
Yeah, thank you.
And I look forward to, if you ever want to do one again, being able to do this again, and being able to be a little bit more prepared next time, because I may actually do 2 hours for our room reserved as far as the library, just to have that in mind. But I'm glad that we were able to at least finish it out in here. So yeah, thank you again for being here.
Yeah, thank you again for having me. It's been great.
Yeah, so everybody, if you enjoy this episode, whether you are watching this on YouTube or on my Instagram page at Not Your Average Joel, be sure to subscribe, or, like, or even comment, if you have different life changes, experiences that you want to talk about. Feel free to post it on YouTube, or if you want to DM me on Instagram, you can definitely do that, or even commenting on the reel that I may post regarding this episode. And then also, if you're listening on any of the podcast streaming platforms, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, whatever that may be, I definitely appreciate your support there as well. So anyways, everybody, I hope that you're having a good rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching or listening to this. And I will see y'all on the next episode of Not Your Average Joel. Goodbye.